Good morning, friends. So, in the previous lecture, we have seen the horticultural propagation of plants. It is done by two methods, that is sexual propagation and artificial vegetative propagation. So, the sexual propagation of horticultural plants is done by using seeds, and the artificial vegetative propagation is done by different methods. That is, these are four types of methods. First one is cutting, second one is layering, third one is grafting, and fourth one is budding. So, cutting is again divided into stem cutting, then root cutting, leaf cutting, and leaf bud cutting. Then layering is again divided into different types, that is air layering, tip layering, simple layering, serpentine layering, and trench or continuous layering. So today we'll be going to start with third type of artificial vegetative propagation, that is grafting. Okay, so it is a method of vegetative propagation that consists of union of one part of plant to other plant so as to develop and grow as a new plant. So grafting involves two part of plants. One is a stalk and another one is scion. Okay, so stalk is nothing but the plant part on which we insert a scion, and the scion is a plant part which is inserted on the stalk. Okay, so let's see rootstock, the plant or part of plant on which grafting is done, known as stalk. So it provides a root system to the grafted plant. Scion, the part of the superior and desired plant to be grafted on the stalk, is known as scion. It forms the top of the new plant which bears flowers and fruits after successful grafting. Okay, so grafting again divided into approach grafting, stone grafting, weave and tongue grafting, and last one is side grafting. So let's see one by one. First one is approach grafting. So it is a type of grafting that consists of union of both rooted stock and scion and developing a single plant of superior quality, known as approach grafting. Okay, let's see the method of approach grafting. The stalk and scion are raised in pots or soil, but height should be of same. The stalk and scion plants thickness should be of same. A slice of bark about 4 cm on the side of stalk facing the scion shoot is removed. Okay, so here we can see in figure that the bark of scion and stalk is cutted about 4 cm, which is facing to each other. A slice of bark about same dimension is removed from stalk. They are brought together and tied together with the help of thread or string. They are sealed with grafting wax. The area around the stalk and scion regularly irrigated still the union of stalk and scion. The union requires 2 to 3 months, and then scion is separated just below the union from the stalk gradually. In the first stage, cut is given halfway or slightly less. The cut is made deeper after 10 to 15 days. If the scion shoot is not showing sign of withering, it is completely removed or detached. It is completely removed or detached from the stalk after 1 week. The plant is kept under shade and ready for plantation. And the example of this approach grafting is mango, guava, and sapota. Okay, so here is the diagram of approach grafting. So here we can see that the cut is made both on the stalk and scion, which is facing to each other. Then in B diagram, here they are tied together, and in the next diagram we can see that the union is formed between the scion and stalk. So this is about approach grafting. Then let's see the stone grafting. The scion of superior quality character is grafted by wedge shaped into the vertical slit or tongue of stalk known as stone grafting. Let's see the method. Seeds of plants are placed on a sand bed and covered with 50 to 75 centimeter layer of leaf mold for germination. Okay, so this stone grafting is generally done in germinating seedlings. Okay, so germinating seedlings of 8 to 15 days are grafted by deheading the seedling about 5 centimeter above the stone grafting. This is simply carried by preparing wedge shaped scion into the slit of deheaded root stock. Polythene tape is used for tying the graft. This grafted plant is then planted in polythene bags filled with soil and farmyard manure mixture one by one. The graft is kept in semi-shade condition and watered regularly. So here is the diagram of stone grafting. Okay, so which is done in mango. So here we can see the scion. In a diagram here we can see the seedlings and scion. There is a presence of cotyledon. The upper part is epicotyl, lower part is hypocotyl, and radicle which develops into root system. In the next diagram, B diagram, that is deheaded seedling with V-shaped cut. In that V-shaped cut, we just insert a scion and tied with the help of polythene, and then it develops into a new plant. The next type of grafting, that is whiff and tongue grafting. So it is a popular method, particularly useful for grafting relatively small material which is about 1 to 1.5 centimeter in diameter. So this is a simple type of grafting where we just cut a scion and stalk. A slanting cut is taken and again they are tied with a polythene and develops into a new plant. In tongue grafting, sloping cuts are made on stalk and scion. Okay, so same in as in the case of weave grafting. So same process in tongue grafting, sloping cuts are made on stalk and scion. But in addition to this, a reverse cut is made on each of these cut surfaces. So here we can see in the diagram a reverse cut is made on the scion and as well as on the stalk, and they are again tied with the help of polythene and waxed, and then later on it forms a new root and shoot systems and develop into a new plant. Okay, so the last type of grafting, that is side grafting. So in this method grafting is done without removing the top of the stalk. The stalk should be larger in diameter than the scion which is inserted into the side of the stalk. So here we can see again the size of scion is small, smaller than the stalk. The small cut is made on the stalk and this small part of scion is inserted on that stalk and then later on tied with polythene and some moss, and after a few weeks it develops into a shoot system and develops a new plant. So let's see the stalk and scion relationship. The root stalk supplies water and nutrients to the scion. The amount of water and nutrients supplied by root stalks affects the scion and makes changes in the form, size, shape, and longevity of scion. It also has effects on the time and amount of flowering as well as time of maturity, size, color, and quality of the fruit. Similarly, the sign also influences the stalk, which is not easily noticed. The branching nature of sign causes the vigorous growth of root system. Okay, so simultaneously stalk and sign affects each other. The compatibility is the most important factor in between the stalk and sign. The success of union mostly depends on this factor. Grafting is possible between varieties in a species or between species of a genus or between genera of family. The plants of different families are incompatible. Okay, so this is a point to be remember, that is grafting is possible between varieties in a species or between species of a genus or between genera of family, but it is not possible in different families. Okay, so the plants of different families are incompatible in grafting. Sometimes the graftage apparently successful, but the union is not complete or satisfactory. In such cases, after few years, the trees become dwarf, unhealthy, and ultimately die off. The difference in the relative vigor of stalk and sign causes larger development of the stem above the union and vice versa. The causes of incompatibility are not completely understood. In some cases, it may be the formation of an imperfect union between rootstock and sign, or some inhibition of the transport of material across the union in phloem. Okay, so this is the stalk and sign relationship. So this is about grafting, and we are going to stop here. In the next video lecture, we'll be going to start with budding. So till then, stay safe, stay home, and happy learning.